Welcome, welcome, welcome to another lovely episode of the Panty Nectar podcast. It is your host, Panty Nectar, here for the 50th freaking episode of the Panty Nectar podcast. So thank you so much for joining me today for episode number 50. I'm pretty excited to go over just like Panty Nectar and everything, the journey that we've been on and all the cool things that we're doing. So before we get into the episode, let me introduce my lovely husband and co-host, Mr. P.
Hello, Panty Nectar, my dear, on the 50th
50
episode.
Can you believe it? 50.
Your podcast, and it's all been within about a year, I guess. We didn't even realize it that in November 4th was the 1 year anniversary of the podcast.
Yeah.
And however many episodes there were at that time. And so it's been a little over a year and 50 episodes in, and it's crazy how much it's grown, and the audience and the outreach and just everything that entails, you know, there's so much more than just sitting up here and talking. It's really all the comments and messages that we get from people that really make it all worth it. So thank you guys so much for making this possible.
Yes, thank you. Someone on Reddit actually had messaged me just the other day, I guess when we hit our year, and they were like, I can't believe I've been listening to you for a year already. And I was like, holy shit, you've been listening to me for a year already.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
That's so cool to think that like people have literally been listening to the words that we've been saying for a year now.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think like that your words matter that much, and that, you know, I don't
100%.
know. Just makes it. I'm very just proud of this whole community, proud of everyone involved, and just super proud to be a part of this crazy thing.
And Panty Nectar, I have to ask you, you're sitting here right next to me, casually sitting here, just hosting a podcast, and I noticed that you are wearing only panties right now.
And headphones.
Lace, and headphones. Yeah, exactly. Lace, blue, kind of, what color would you call this?
Yeah, let me stand up real quick.
Yeah, show the camera.
So this is panties for episode 50. Ooh. They're hot.
Nice. These are sexy.
Yeah.
These are very, very sexy.
Super sexy. Thank you. Yes. So these are actually for a special fan. They wanted panties, and they said for a piece of history, episode number 50.
That's crazy to think about. Someone already requested that.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So these panties are actually going to, he's all over Reddit, all over Discord. He supports me all over. So thank you so much for that. And for buying these panties.
Yeah. And so your lack of clothing is usually like you have your robe on or a shirt on and you'll pull the top up, but you have no top on right now.
No, we were about to.
And your little boobies right here, just so easy to grab.
We were about to start, and I was like, why don't I just do the podcast naked? And you were like, yeah,
that sounds great.
Yeah, you were like, you can. And I was like, oh, okay, well, so yeah.
Not going to stop you there.
A full episode just with panties on, so decided to roll with it. It's kind of cold in here, though. Can you tell?
Yes, it's
you
very
keep grabbing my nipples.
My hands are probably
They're all
cold
solid.
Too.
No, so thank you so much for that support. Panty Nectar has been on a crazy, amazing journey. I remember around this time last year, you and I were actually doing the Panty Nectar's Ho 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 Christmas live stream.
Yes.
And we ended up doing that on Discord, and we went through throwback games and all kinds of fun topics. I think we talked about Eckhart Tolle and all the things that we love talking about, but we got to spend the evening of Christmas with our fans. And for those of you who don't know a lot about our story, that's a big deal for us. Like, really, it's been just the two of us. So it's really nice to be able to share those moments that a lot of people don't get to share with their families with us. I don't know. I enjoy having that connection with the community.
Yeah, 100%. And, you have, you and I have been watching this documentary recently that you were adamant that we watched, the Harry and Meghan documentary. And we watched that whole thing, and I really recommend that people watch that. It's a really good look into somebody's life who, seemingly had it all. And then, you peel back the curtains just a little bit and you realize, holy crap, man, that was a disaster there with what he was doing in his life and not what he was doing, but the way his life, the way he was raised, And so he and Meghan, they get together, and then it's just like he's trying to break free of that and is going his own direction. with the love of his life, and her doing the same with him. And it's a pretty amazing story. Even up to now, I mean, it's not like these people have been together but just what, 3 or 4 or 5 years or something like that. I don't even know. But I kind of saw a lot of our similarities in that, and it's been a great ride. And the panty nectar community has made so much of this possible. You and I, we talk about it, all the time, just about like how influential panty nectar is in our own relationships. Because it makes us hold ourselves accountable. And makes us, at least strive to be better people. Because without that, we can't try to be better people for the community, and in turn the fans, if they're having a rough day, and everybody, provides so much support for us, and everybody is just every single day, saying how much they appreciate what we do, and it's truly a symbiotic relationship, because we literally could not do it without the fans, the community. Yeah. I mean, it's literally that simple.
Yeah.
Without you, the fan, it's just impossible. And so thank you so much. It's
amazing. I don't know if you remember the other day when someone hopped into Discord and they like made, it was a very jokingly comment, but it was something referring to like, oh, us peasants, like asking my opinion on something. And man, I just like had to correct that so fast, because I was like, that's such a negative energy to introduce into the community.
Right.
And like, I don't look at myself as this queen that's on top of everyone, except for those few of you that get hard thinking about that. Well, unless that turns you on. But honestly, it's nice to be able to be like, I'm no one special. Like, I'm literally a human being, a regular human being, just like you guys.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, like being able to have those conversations with people and like kind of put things into perspective for them, and make them think a different way, opposed to thinking the same way that they always do. So
100%. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, and saying being a regular human being, it's like, even me, just like Mr. P Nectar. I'm fucking, like nobody. And it's like, some people out there just like think I'm the coolest thing ever. And it's like, man, like I appreciate that, but I just want you to know I'm not.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like I'm such a flawed human being. But it makes you appreciate it, and it makes you realize, like, we were watching a football game yesterday, and they were doing a post-game interview. I don't even remember who it was, but the guy, he had a real good presence about him, and he was giving the interview, the football player. And I was just thinking, like, man, if this was a few years ago, or like especially when I was a kid, like I would think of this NFL athlete, making all this crazy money and famous in a sense, celebrity type, and just thinking like how different they are to be in that life, But then you realize, like, we're all just people. We are literally all just people. Yeah. Maybe other than Elon Musk, he might be an alien, from Mars or fucking Pluto, who knows? But we're all just people,
absolutely.
And so there's no reason to think of, and that's something that Gary Vee talks about a lot too. It's like, don't really get too high on the highs and low on the lows. If you get so high on the people praising you, as he says, if someone's like, oh my God, you're the greatest thing. And you let that inflate your ego so much. Well, when the next person says you suck, it's going to deflate,
right. Has absolutely
opposite effect. So, stay level.
Those are great. I think like those are people, if you're not listening to a few of those people we just mentioned, like daily, I think you definitely should. I gave a little armpit flash just now.
Sorry, I just started rubbing her boobs as she got interrupted over here.
No, but I think it's important to, like, people don't understand the influence of the things that you listen to and the things that you think and the words that you speak. And so it's important, if you are around people that are not like that, to get around people that are like that, to get around some positive people. And, maybe you have to make your circle smaller, and that is okay at the end of the day, if that means that you get to be your true, authentic self.
Yeah, and you talk about the words you speak, and it's not just the words that you're saying outright. It's also the word, to people. It's also the words you say to yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's something, that I think is more important than the words you speak, is how do you speak to yourself? If you speak to yourself, in a condescending way, and that's the way that you talk to yourself, which is, I just have to be completely candid, is easy for me to do. Like, it's easy to be like, like if something goes wrong or something doesn't go right, it's like automatically just think that like you just suck at whatever it is. And, the reality is you don't. You just, fuck it. Just
roll with the punches.
Keep moving on. Yeah. And, but never talk bad about yourself. And you've been really good at bringing that to my attention as well. And sometimes maybe it's even better to bullshit ourselves. I think it just be like things are okay. Like in a sense, not bullshitting yourself and like lacking self-awareness, I guess. But just when things maybe aren't quote unquote going your way, just shrug it off and just say, hey, it can always be worse, and this ain't that bad.
I think that's why it's so important to like stay grounded in who you are and who you are truly as a person. Because if you have that kind of foundation, like there's nothing that anyone could say about you that would change your mind. You know what I mean? Like I am a good person. Yep. People have said horrible things about me, including that I'm a slut, which is partly true. So it's okay.
Partly.
Okay.
Whoa. Are we sure this is just partly over here? That's teasing.
But it's like, if you know who you are as a person, then like other people's opinions really don't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And it's real easy to... What do you laugh at?
Nothing.
Well, you need a kiss.
Yeah.
No, I was sitting here as you were saying that, and I was looking up at the camera right here, and I'm sitting here, and you're talking all this great self-development, just like how to be, and you're completely fucking... Actually, Panty Nectar, I don't know. You had the panties on, but I think you need to take them off just for a second. At least show your booty to the camera. Up? Yeah.
Okay. My turn.
Make sure you get that one. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, I know what we should do.
What?
50. Okay, so I'm pulling your panties right down. So Panty Nectar got up on the couch next to me, and she is on all fours, and her hands are on the back of the couch. And so she's just in panties, and I'm pulling them down. She always has this real sexy tan line. Can you talk a little bit more about your tan line and how? So
I tend to wear like a really small G-string when I tan and no top. So I have like a nice bottoms, like sexy up over your hips tan line. And then nothing where the boobs are.
Yeah. Like your back is completely tan, but and it's pretty faint too.
Yeah.
Of course, it's winter right now, but you have been tanning.
Yeah.
Sexy as fuck. So we're going to count to 50.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50.
Yay!
50 spankings and a few to grow up.
And
that was all on the same cheek. Have to.
Look, yeah.
That's good. Dang, look at that. That's hot. Look at your little fucking pussy right there. You have the hottest little body. The hottest.
Thank you, baby. Well, episode 50. It cannot have been better than this. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Bearded Dom, for purchasing the 50th episode panties.
Panties, Bearded Dom, thank you.
And we will see you guys for episode 51.
See ya.